So we're now entering the final part of our workshop, the call for actions. And if you recall, at the beginning of the workshop, an interesting, informative, and interactive workshop. And I think, and I hope you do too, that we definitely delivered that today. Not only am I inspired to try and make sure that I can minimize my contribution to marine pollution, but I've also learned so much about what we already know and what we need to know, and what are the ongoing initiatives and solutions that the region is working on, from all of our fantastic speakers, and of course from all of you who have contributed and shared your experiences and views. Now, just to recap some of the day's events, and very briefly, but this morning we heard of the many causes of pollution in the Mediterranean, and how that the Mediterranean is one of the world's most affected regions by plastic. But I'm encouraged to know that there are many organizations and individuals out there who are already working on plans and policies to help combat this marine pollution problem. In session one, we saw that many different ways in which marine organisms can be impacted by marine litter, and how it impacts cetaceans, turtles, monk seals, and commercial species, among others. We were introduced to the online tool, the MedLitter database, that compiles all of these studies so we can use them to further our research and ensure evidence-based decision-making. We've seen how efforts are being made to improve and harmonize marine litter assessment and monitoring across the region, and in identifying bioindicators of marine pollution impact. However, we also learned that marine pollution doesn't just affect biodiversity, but pollution is an issue that we all should be extremely concerned about. And there are a number of direct and indirect ways in which it can affect our health and our well-being. It's clear that we need to have synergies between the scientific community so that we can harmonize knowledge and solutions of scientific outcomes and tools that we can be used to mitigate the impacts of marine litter in the Mediterranean. In session two, we also heard about the many initiatives and policies to fight marine litter at the project, national and regional scale, and how we need to drive forward a more circular economy. It's evident that we need a new global treaty that tackles plastics, one that will mobilize parallel actions at all levels, upstream and downstream, and across the entire plastic loop, from extraction to production to the use and post-use of plastic. And in session three, just after lunch, which we just finished hearing, we saw some of the practical solutions that can and are being taken to help combat marine litter, and how stakeholders, civil society, and businesses can be involved in these initiatives. And we've also learned how important it is that knowledge and tools are transferred and capacity built at the local level. We need to pressurize companies to make changes, and we ourselves have a responsibility to reduce marine litter. You know, after hearing some of the devastating impacts of marine pollution and the long, complicated road ahead, sometimes I feel I struggle and I despair at the seemingly impossible task of reducing marine pollution in our Mediterranean Sea. But I'm leaving this meeting feeling very inspired and hopeful for the future. I see that there's a large community of us who are not just obligated to do something, but it's clear that each and every one of us are so passionate and so willing, not just in our work, but even at a personal level. We want to be successful. We want to be able to tell little Miguel, it's okay, the grown-ups are sorting it out, and we will sort it out for our future generations. This community of ours must be commended for all the achievements and progress thus far, and while we should congratulate ourselves in our efforts, we mustn't get too comfortable. As Cecile mentioned earlier, it's clear that we are only reaching the tip of the iceberg, and we still have a long way to go to achieve our zero pollution goal. There's lots more we need to learn and understand, and there's even more that we need to do. So taking all this knowledge we have gained and the experiences we have heard about throughout the day, let's take a relook at the 9 recommendations we presented right at the beginning of this workshop. And once again, I would ask you to click on the Mentimeter in the chat box, because I want to know, after all that you've heard, have you changed your mind as to what the most important and priority recommendations and actions we need to do, or do you still feel the same? So as before, if you could please select the top 3 recommendations that you feel are the most important that will help us combat marine pollution. So the link is there in the chat box now. You can try. And then we will have a look and see if it's showing any different from what we saw this morning. This morning we saw, well, I won't say what we saw this morning. I don't want to influence. Okay, so we see, oh, it's changing quickly, involving local stakeholders and civil society, tackling unsustainable production and consumption, any more contributions? Okay, well, we won't stay too long, but I think what we see is that the results are very similar to what we saw this morning. And this is quite encouraging because it means that we're on the right track. And if we continue to do what we're doing, but do it better and do it more and do it in a more cohesive and coherent manner, we should be able to try and combat pollution. Now, even though we already have these 9 recommendations and we see that we're relatively on the right track. Oh, I see more votes coming in, but nothing has changed the positions. But what I would like to ask you is, after hearing everything today, do you feel there are any recommendations or key actions that are missing that we need to actually be considering so that we revise? If you can think of anything, please let us know in the chat box. So I'll give you a little moment to have a think and see if we want to consider any additional . Okay, so we'll move on, then I'll ask another question. When we have all these recommendations, and as Joseph said earlier, behavioral change is a very complex and difficult thing to achieve. So it's all very well having these recommendations and these key actions which we're saying these are needed. But what do you think will be the biggest barriers or challenges in implementing these recommendations? Please let me know your views on this in the chat box. Yeah, I see some great answers coming in. Cost, human inertia. So keep coming the answers, keep sending the answers in the chat, because remember, we will be reviewing them all again after the workshop. And to flip this question, not everything is a barrier. Sometimes we're faced with opportunities and an enabling environment. So what are some of the opportunities and enablers that will help us successfully implement these recommendations? I see a new recommendation could be to perhaps address the educational curricula at school and universities to integrate information on litter and its impacts. To make sure that the awareness, so maybe the lack of awareness of the impacts is a barrier. Okay, well, feel free to keep adding to the chat, because as I said, we will be reviewing these after the workshop as well. We're recording all the chats and all your comments. So you certainly have provided us with a lot of great information, some viewpoints and opinions, and it's been wonderful to see you exchange your projects and your initiatives among the group, and we'll all certainly check those out. And all of your contributions will be extremely valuable in helping us refine these recommendations for moving forward. And once this workshop is finished, we will review all of your comments and suggestions and use them to develop a report and a fact sheet on the revised recommendations, which will be made available on the website shortly after. So from the bottom of my heart, I and the whole team behind this workshop, thank you all so much for your incredibly insightful and valuable contributions throughout the day. But you all know me by now. It just simply wouldn't be right if I did not ask for just one last thing from you. And after all, I did promise that here today, we can do something to show our commitment towards a cleaner and healthier Mediterranean. So what can we do? Well, let's watch this video and find out. I think we have a video coming.
united for effective actions to protect the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean's diversity of plants and animals, biodiversity, is an amazing gift to us. They play a crucial role in our lives. Wetlands, rocky shores, sandy beaches, seagrass meadows host an amazing variety of life, which are all part of an interconnected ecosystem. This Mediterranean ecosystem is part of our daily life, and it provides essential goods and benefits like clean air, water, and healthy food. However, overexploitation, pollution, unsustainable fisheries, and climate change are affecting the balance. Human activities have become a major threat to our sea and to our daily lives. We need to act now. Many Mediterranean people, social organizations, companies, and institutions are well aware of this need. Our community, over 200 partners in the region, has worked for 3 years to create a common base for our shared goal. We have practiced a constant dialogue, exchanging experiences and knowledge, linking science, management, and policy actors. We have discovered that solutions to protect our environment need to be designed beyond borders, free from self-interest and short-term economic gain, and have then created the Mediterranean Declaration for an ecosystem-based approach. Our declaration is an important step to protecting our future. Its main points of action are to acknowledge the value of and threats to the Mediterranean, to engage in dialogue and cooperation with all economic sectors for a sustainable future, to exchange experiences and good practices to influence better policies and practices, to activate cooperation mechanisms for effective biodiversity conservation and ecosystem management. Sign up and share our declaration for the Mediterranean today, because together we are stronger and more effective. All together for a better Mediterranean.
So come on, who's with me? Why wait till tomorrow? Let's do it here, right now in this workshop. Let's show our commitment. Let's show that as a community, we stand together in this war against pollution, and we will win. So the link is going to be provided here in the chat. We invite you to sign on it and sign the declaration right here, right now. When you do that, come back and give us a thumbs up on your screen, and then we'll close the workshop. I'm going to go and do it right now. And while we're waiting for those to return, allow me to just draw attention to another link that will be placed in the chat box. And this is for the satisfaction survey. We really would like to hear from you about how you felt today went, because it will just help us improve future events. So please copy the link and send us your feedback. So I don't know if we can go to the live screen and see if we can see if people are signing, or we can visually see as people sign. Okay, I'm not sure if we can see it. Okay, so I think as we sign, we might even be able to see the numbers go up. I'm not sure if we can or not, but maybe even if we can't, once you sign, if you come back and you could give us your thumbs up, and we'll know that we've all done it. I'm just doing it now as I type.
On my screen, it shows 193. So at least 3 have signed, it seems.
Fantastic. Okay. I'm signing right now. Not a very good signature, but anyway, here we go. That should be 194. Yes, so I did it. Okay, so lastly, I would just like to once again express my thanks to all our facilitators and speakers throughout the day. The Mediterranean Biodiversity Protection Community, a huge thank you for organizing this event. And of course, the whole team from the European Topic Centre Malaga, Med Cities and Plan Blue, who have worked so hard and tirelessly over the past month to organise this amazing workshop. But most importantly of all, to all of you who have shown your dedication and commitment towards achieving zero marine pollution, not only by attending and contributing to this event, but also in all the work that you do and in your daily lives. So let's seize the day and wave litter goodbye. Sorry, I know it's bad, but I just couldn't help it. I will now hand you over to Dania, who is the director of the European Topic Centre on Spatial Analysis and Synthesis, to highlight some of the important upcoming activities and events and to close the workshop. So from me, I bid you goodbye and thank you.
Thank you, Anushka, and thank you, everyone, all the participants. I think it has been really very interesting to hear the Mentimeter exercises, to see the different points of view. I think it was really enriching. So I would like to thank all the facilitators across the sessions, and of course, Anushka, just connecting all the dots together, all the speakers. It has been really a pleasure to hear all of this today and to really act together symbolically towards making steps to reduce that huge contamination and take it out of our lives. I would like to thank all the people behind the screens. I mean, there have been a huge teamwork happening, as you mentioned, Anushka, as well, the CPMR and Lise as well, has been part of this great team that was behind this work. So thank you a lot for that. I would like also to thank of course, the donor, the Interreg Mediterranean program, for this continuous support in terms of fighting this pollution. It is part of broader activities that we do, but this is one of the working groups that's focusing on pollution and on marine litter that we have presented here today as part of the activities, and that has not been possible without the support of the Interreg Mediterranean program. So thank them for that, and also for the European Commission for their continuous support. It has been the second year that they are providing us, in the core of their activities, a session in the EU Green Week to really highlight important questions that need reflection, especially in the Mediterranean, as we do here. So yeah, I hope I did not forget anyone. I really thank everyone, and it has been really a pleasure, I guess, for the whole team to be sharing that day with you. So a few points, as you can see on the screen, as next steps, what we are expecting mainly on this, I would say, a task linked to pollution and marine litter. We will have, by the end of this month, a capacity building session linked to marine protected area managers and natural resource managers in Montenegro. The Ministry of Montenegro is partner in this project, and part of these activities that have happened so far, mainly on their side, has been the declaration of their first marine protected area in Montenegro, which has been, I think, a great pleasure for the team to be part of, making sure that they are supported, there are tools and so on for the new marine protected area managers to commit to understand better and to use, hopefully, while they are developing their action plans. So we have developed already one capacity building that was focusing more on climate issues. And the second one will be by the end of this month, focusing on marine litter protocols and so on. Part of the speakers and the panelists will be also sharing their experiences, the tools they have been part of developing with the marine protected area managers of Montenegro, which is really, I think, very useful upcoming event. We will be sharing an updated report extracting the main outcomes of the latest version of the Med BioLitter that you have been exposed to today. I think there is a prior report, maybe someone from the team can put it on the chat, the first report on the interaction between biota and marine litter that was produced. So we will be producing an update of the results soon. We will be producing a short report as an outcome of this meeting, where we'll be putting some relevant information in it, and we will be sharing it with all our participants soon. Then by the end of this year, we are committed to several events. I was not able to put everything in here, so we will be part of a session of the upcoming COP of the Barcelona Convention taking place in December, to mainly look at issues linked to transboundary management of ecologically sensitive areas in the Mediterranean, where of course these transboundary pollution such as marine litter is an important aspect to tackle in such a management plan. Then by next year, some of the events will be linked to being part of an international forum on marine litter and circular economy, Marlise. We are still in discussions, but I think if there is all the elements that are needed, we will be going for an event that is again focusing on this issue of marine litter. And we expect our final outreach event to be happening at the EU Parliament in Q3, so by September, around September 2022 in Brussels. In all cases, you can stay tuned to our activities by following us and by subscribing to the newsletter. Maybe also the team can send you the link to the newsletter if you are interested in the upcoming activities and events. I think that's it from my side. Again, thank you a lot. I hope it was useful for you. I guess for many of us it has been. Certainly, I can confess this, and looking forward to have you in upcoming events. Thank you a lot and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye. Have a good
Bye,
evening.
everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
And
Bye
thank you,
bye.
everybody.
Bye bye all.
Great work.
Bye bye. Thank you.